The actions performed in this video are only to be attempted under medical supervision. Fasting can be extremely dangerous if not done correctly, and in some cases may result in organ failure and death. Please consult a medical professional and do your own research before attempting any form of prolonged fasting. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, September 3rd. It is about 9:20 p.m. We're on day 18 of our 20-day water/dry fast. Today was a water fasting day up until about 3 p.m. and then we switched to a dry fast. I kind of made a last-minute decision to do my dry fast from Thursday to Friday instead of Friday to Saturday, just because I have my family coming this weekend, so that's going to be super exciting. So I just wanted to be as alert as possible on Saturday while they're here. I didn't want to be dry fasting, so I bumped it up a day. So we'll finish this tomorrow at about 3 p.m. and then we'll be water fasting the rest of the time. So that'll probably work better for me. One, I won't have to do So that'll probably work better for me. One, I won't have to do the dry fasting while my family's here. And then two, it'll give me a little bit more recovery time. So I'll be water fasting for a day and a half prior to breaking the fast, as opposed to just half a day. So I think that'll end up being better for me to do it that way. So I'm gonna stick with my decision, and we'll break this tomorrow afternoon. So before we get into the video, let's go ahead and do our 18th weigh-in. So today we're at 152. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Today I just kind of want to talk about what led me to intermittent fasting. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't an intermittent faster until well after my 40-day fast. I was looking for extended fast solution. I did a lot of research on extended fasting and extended water fasting. I didn't do much of any on dry fasting, so I never incorporated that into my 40-day fast. It was all just water fasting the whole time. So I wasn't strictly doing the 1 meal a day or the only eating at nighttime meal plan before my fast. And even after my fast, because my stomach capacity had shrunk, I wasn't able to just kind of come and eat a whole big amount of food, you know, at the end of the day. I kind of had to adjust my stomach to eating again, and I was kind of sampling small foods throughout the day. I was eating a lot of zucchini noodles and pesto, so I would add, like, you know, the pesto I thought would help get some fat and some calories in there because my calories were really low. I just couldn't eat that much, even eating all day. And one thing I will say is the weight that I was at the end of the fast, obviously it bumped up maybe 5 pounds once I started eating again, but after that, that set weight was pretty much where I stayed for a while. And even though my calories were pretty low, I was eating, you know, pretty healthy, pretty light, pretty clean, but my weight wasn't really changing. I thought it was strange that I'd finished my fast and I'd kind of, you know, gone on a diet, or tried to, try to maintain this really healthy lifestyle after my fast was over, all gung-ho about health and fitness and being really strict. And my weight didn't really change after the fast was over. That was like the last time I experienced much weight loss, and I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And I kind of drifted back to YouTube, like the same kind of videos that I was watching during my fast. Whereas during my fast, they were all food videos. So they were talking about, like, I watched all those Netflix documentaries telling you how scary and awful the meat industry is, and, telling you about like global warming and, the best foods to eat, what causes inflammation, what's good for you, what's not good for you. So I was kind of focused on food, and I wasn't really focused on a lifestyle change, I guess is what I would say. So when I finished, I kind of just went back to the old habit of a diet, and it didn't work to make me lose more weight. I was able to maintain the weight that I finished my fast with, but I wasn't making any more progress after the fact. And obviously finishing around 190 pounds, it wasn't my goal. It was definitely a big step in the right direction, but I did know that I wanted to lose more weight. Like, that wasn't by any means where I wanted to stay, because I still was at a pretty high weight for my, my gender and my height. So I knew that I wanted to keep going, but I just didn't know what was keeping me from moving forward. I thought, oh, my metabolism should be much higher now. I should be able to burn through calories and eat more, and da 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 da. I didn't see that happening. So I went back to watching some YouTube videos and kind of doing some research. And that's kind of when I started learning about the intermittent fasting side and not just the extended fasting. And the intermittent fasting is basically the maintenance. So once you come off an extended fast, the way that you keep those benefits is you don't go back to raising your insulin levels 5 or 6 times a day. That's only going to counteract everything you just did with the fast. You're only going to create more stress in your body. You're going to lower your metabolism. You're going to do all the things that you tried to undo during your fast. And that's exactly what I was doing. So I almost felt silly because I'd done all this research on fasting. I'd done this huge fast, and there's this whole other side of fasting, something that you would use in your daily life to maintain, your health and fitness goals. And it had completely gone over my head for months, and I was confused and I was frustrated, and I was like, oh my gosh, all that, and yeah, I lost weight. It's not like I'm putting it back on, but I want to make more progress, and I'm not really able to do that. So then I started intermittent fasting, and I started seeing the progress come a little bit more. Everything about intermittent fasting made sense to me, and that's why I was so excited to try it. I realized my mistake, and I just started, and I've never looked back. It's been years since I've gotten up and had breakfast before work. It's been at least a year since I've had a cheat day, because I don't need a cheat day. If I want to eat something, I'll just eat it. I don't have to hold it and wait for a specific time. And I think that works much better for me. Like I've gone months without having a donut. But sometimes I'll want to have a donut. Like I'll go on a Sunday and it'll be like 9 in the morning, and I'll go get 3 or 4 donuts and a cup of coffee, and then I'll have that for breakfast, and then obviously I probably won't eat again until 5 or 6 p.m. because that's a lot of calories, and my body's not used to taking in that many calories first thing in the morning. But if I feel like doing it, I'll just do it. I don't have to wait for a special occasion. I just know that I'm not going to crave it all the time. It's not something that's on the tip of my tongue and I have to have it, and if I try to have it when I want it, then I'll just want it all the time and I'll eat it all the time. That doesn't really happen to me. It did before. It did where there was a point where I was eating fast food all the time. I was eating out all the time, ordering food all the time, and I did crave it. It's because I craved it. Like I would crave it. I can't even explain to you how powerful the cravings used to be. Like it's such a weight lifted right now when I tell you that I experience more freedom with my food. I know a lot of people who've lost a lot of weight with dieting, they struggle with binge eating, and that's essentially what I would experience, is where I would just I would be doing so well, and I would reach this point where I was like, oh, I'm missing out on there's so much I could have eaten this week that I really wanted, and I stuck to the healthy stuff and I didn't even want it. And then so I would have these crazy cheat days where I would eat so many calories it would completely undo all the work that I did all week. And there was really no way around it. Like I couldn't really figure out how to get out of that cycle until I found intermittent fasting, which just, like I said, it gives you so much freedom to eat more of the foods that you want, because you almost can't be as strict because you're eating in a smaller window. So you really have to pile on a little bit more into those meals than you normally would, because you have to get your calories. And unless you want to be in a huge deficit, if I want to maintain my weight, I have to eat what I burn. If I burn 2,500, I have to eat 2,500 calories in like a 4-hour window. And salad and rice and fish and veggies, it isn't going to get me to 2,500 calories in 4 hours. It's going to be too much volume and not enough calories. So you have to pile on a little bit more fat, a little bit more carbs, and things like that. Not in an unhealthy way, but simply because you just need to be eating more calories. You shouldn't be taking those shortcuts to try to cut calories when you're trying to get everything in one sitting. I'm not being driven by all these cravings. I'm not being driven by trying to count calories and trying to cut quarters and trying to be super strict. I literally just I eat pretty good food, and I don't really think about it too much. I just kind of eat what I want. And like I said, I can't explain to you how freeing that feels after so many years of struggling. So that's kind of all I wanted to get into today. Even after a 40-day water fast, I still found a whole new world of fasting. Thinking that I was the expert at that point, but realizing that I didn't know nearly as much as I thought. So I'm still learning. I am learning every single day. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I'm not a medical professional. All I have are my own experiences and my own research that I'm hoping by sharing with everyone else is going to help you come to the same conclusions that I did, and hopefully reach the same results that I was able to reach. So thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following me. Thank you for supporting me on this channel, on this journey. I really, really appreciate it. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you again tomorrow for another video.